I need your autograph. I was like, you know, like looking for the cameras, waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out because I've been pranked, and like the lamest prank ever.
You thought you were important. I peeked the mic with the first word.
Remember, you gotta sit back a little bit. Get yourself a little comfy.
Yeah, we do.
But not... So, with your couch, we can't properly sit all the way back, because then you just become...
one with it.
Yeah, that's maybe a smart idea, actually.
Yeah, like, you can just grab all those pillows and make yourself, like, a little seat.
I don't need to make myself taller, unlike some people. I don't have a complex about my shortness.
Fucking rude. I don't have a complex about my shortness.
You have a little bit of a complex about your shortness.
I say that, I go super defensive.
Like, I don't!
How dare you say that?
You know, the word Napoleon complex. You ever heard about it?
Yeah, no, definitely have a
Look
short
it up.
guy. I definitely have a short guy, like, syndrome.
Short guy syndrome.
I have short guy syndrome.
Hi.
Welcome to episode 11. And I feel like at the beginning of this, we should apologise for
what
Cherry and Olive.
Yeah. Ooh, boy. I kind of expected... My plan was that Cherry would kind of just, like, have semi-taken over, but Rachel would still be there enough to, like, still be holding... You know when you get those kids and they're on little leashes?
Yeah.
Like that. Except Cherry fucking broke the leash.
She chewed it off.
And she got lost in the park for a week. She turned feral.
Yeah. Olive was, like, unacceptably out there.
Unacceptably out there.
Yeah. So, we're sorry. That video, by the way, was an hour and a half long.
Oh, yeah.
And after all the editing that had to happen, it's like, what, 35 minutes? Of usable audio and video.
Do you know what? It's not even just that what's usable, because it's more what's acceptable. Because there is only so far that we are willing to degrade ourselves for your entertainment.
Yes.
And I think it says a lot what we put out there was not below the line.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was saying earlier, like, my favourite part about it is just when we'll drunkenly say something. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a roundabout point where you're like, you know that feeling when you just feel? And the other one's going, yeah. And it makes no sense. We're both, like, sitting there, like, we're talking, like, really in depth about our emotions and things, and we're saying absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Like,
that whole, like, 35 minutes is nothing. We don't make a single point in that whole thing.
And then when we were playing the word game,
oh my god,
we barely connected any of the things to the words we were saying. Like,
I know.
It was more... So there's this thing they teach you in improv.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound a bit, like, wanky here, but there's this thing that's your ABC. So the A is the thing that you get, like the word we picked up. And the B is what it makes you think of. And then the C is what that makes you think of.
Yeah.
We were doing that, but we weren't meant to be doing
no.
it.
Yeah, we just skipped from, like, A, not even to C, to, like, F. Yeah. We're there.
I mean, like, in our heads, it made sense that obviously reading this word, I then get to hear. But to an audience, it's like...
I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. But then it just shows how connected Cherry and Olive are.
Yes.
We can communicate without actually saying anything.
Yes. And to both of us, we were like, yeah I get you.
It just made sense.
And, like, I can watch it and kind of understand what Cherry is trying to say, but
yeah,
it's also like, that's not human.
Yeah. So that's the apology.
Shall we move swiftly on to what's happened since Cherry and Olive
took over? Yeah. I was at Comic-Con, and NestCon, that was really fun. I was invited with the Truthers Comedy Club guys. Shout out to those peeps, they're brilliant, really funny guys. And they had an entertainment... And girls, sorry. I say guys fucking collectively. Any human being is a guy to me, okay?
I know. But I just wanted to be that person.
Don't be those people.
Those gender non-specific people.
And it was lovely, and they had an entertainment panel. And I was like, and one of the members asked me if I wanted to tag along because we were doing like a movie worth kind of thing, where we would have certain questions, we had prepared answers for that, and then it would go to like a quickfire round where you had no idea what the questions were. It was really fun, but I was not expecting a crowd so big, and
Really?
oh my god, like, I just walk in and I'm like, oh my god, it's all gonna be fine, feeling like a proper fucking VIP, we got to cut the line,
You
to like, come
you didn't
with
have to
me.
pay for your ticket?
No, like, everything was free, and like, it was great, because this guy with like a walkie-talkie was just like, come with me, and we're like, okay, walking in, like, hi, and like, it was like the ice center, so the whole ice rink, and like, upstairs was just like.
See, I'm sure it was at
filled.
Eden Court last year.
It
That's why
was.
I thought it would be at Eden Court.
Yeah,
again.
so did
It was
I.
not.
It was not. And then I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I look off into the distance and see a big fucking stage with lights and stuff, and I was like, oh, we're gonna be on that, and it was terrifying. But it was like really good turnout. People did stay and listen to us talk, which was great.
They didn't look at you and go,
exactly.
Nah.
Yeah, it was really good. The second panel went better than the first one. There was more people, like,
I suppose
there
11
present.
a.m. is like,
yeah, it's gross.
for nerds, that's like 6
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah, but it was really good, and I won the second one.
Oh, sweet.
It was awesome.
With
yeah.
what?
There was, like, scored, like, all the questions had, like, what we did was basically present our case, and after we did, we got to, like, just attack each other and each other's point of view.
So was it with the same movie, both
No,
panels? Or...
different. It was, like, the questions would be, like, best movie wizard, and we'd have to, like, argue that.
Gandalf.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know if I won that one, though.
Well, this is the weirdest... What's happening?
I don't know. But yeah, it was like, it was gonna be a sad one, and then just, yeah, I'm lonely. But
I'm so sorry,
I'll leave. Jenny won the first one, I won the second one. And like the way that we scored it was, the whoever was hosting that would then like go out and the audience would have to cheer for like each one. So that was really fun. Give us a cheeky shout out as well. If there's any people who actually found out about this from that, then fucking hi! I'm glad I was entertaining enough for you to come here.
And hi, I'm the other thing that exists here. I'm part 2.
I'm
back
part
and
2.
Debatably better.
Yeah, better. There's no debate about that.
It's it's like a sequel to something that never should have got a sequel, but actually the sequel's okay.
Shrek.
Yeah, do you know what? That's exactly what I was thinking about as well. Hi Shrek, I'm Shrek too.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the
You are
greatest
better.
animated musical number in all existence.
Yeah. You do. Fucking
I'm
brilliant.
looking out for a hero, Polina.
That's so good. That's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
I actually got goosebumps thinking about it. Anyway, yes.
In non-Shrek related news.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Well, actually, I was going to tell you a little bit of story. The miniest of stories. More
Kill me.
thing that happened at work today. So, we do this handover when the next person comes in, and when they were coming in, I see them and bump into one of my managers, and they like chat for a little bit, and then they come like rushing through, and I'm like, oh god, what's about to go down? And then they go, I just see this bit of paper get slammed on the desk in front of me, and my manager goes, sign that, I need you to sign that for me. I was like, it's a blank bit of paper. What's going on? And she goes, no, I need your autograph. I was like, you know, like looking for the cameras, waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out because I've been pranked, and like the lamest prank ever.
You thought you were important. If I ever get to like the red carpet, I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
They're just gonna rip it away. It's gonna be a blue carpet.
Oh no! Not the blue carpet! Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, and so, and then my colleague had just come in and goes, I saw a video of you. And she's like, yes, I want your autograph because you're going to be famous one day. And I was like, what video? And she's like, yeah, you're on Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, I did an advert about not smoking for the NHS. And that's what you've seen. And you watching that makes you go, oh yeah, this girl's gonna make it.
That's really sweet though.
Yeah. It was.
That is fake.
And then, so I went to sign it. Like, I was like, this is weird. And she was like, no, not like that. I want it properly done. Like, write me a message. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to write? God. And she was like, no, write me something from the heart or something. So I wrote, you make my life hell, and then a little love heart, and then I sent it.
That is amazing. That's really sweet though.
And she's like, I'm gonna sell it on eBay. I was like, okay, you do that, make your penny from my dad probably buying it. Or getting my aunts drunk and convincing them to buy it.
That's fucking amazing. Oh, that's a good catch up, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we've learned basically is we were successful this week.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the meteor just to, like, come from the sky.
And it's just, like, targeted at just us.
Yeah, it's like a bullet-sized meteor.
Throwback to episode 5.
Oh my god, yeah! God's gonna assassinate us. I forgot about that.
Who was it?
It was you. God assassinated Adam.
Hi. I speak PC. What are you on about? Oh man. So
okay, what we're gonna do today, as much as it seems like we're both in quite giggly moods, it's not episode 5 again, I promise.
Yeah.
God, we were not in an okay place.
No.
That was like alcohol free.
Yeah.
And we were not okay.
we were very far from okay.
We both entered this like delirium.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah? Anyway, today we are talking about news. Or, yes, the way that media presents news.
Yes, it's not going to be a super giggly topic, really.
Like, ha-ha, world's broken, ha!
Satire comedy at its finest.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, because we came to the conclusion that the last, like, couple of episodes, we just talked about ourselves a lot, and our lives, and, like, funny things, or supposed to be funny things.
We intend them to be humorous.
Yeah.
Whether they...
That's up to you guys.
We'll never know.
No, we won't. Anyway. So we're like, you know what, let's talk about something serious. And, like, I don't know, like, it just, like, happens to be something that I feel quite passionately, like, about, I guess. And it's, like, how quick the turnover of news is. And especially if it's, like, a big thing. Say, like, the situation in Syria. Like, that, when, like, that was going on. That was in the news for how long? I don't even know. Like, not that long. It'd come back every so often. Mm-hmm. But then, like, immediately after, it'd be like, this video of a really cute dog doing a thing, and, like, it's going viral, and you're like, people are dying. Like, there's a whole fucking war going on, people are needing homes, they're leaving their own country, but yeah, sure, dog is doing a thing. Yeah, do you know what? It's one of those things where it's like, I totally understand the value of stupid videos that make you smile, because if everything was really sad all the time, that would be shit. Like, and okay, I know that, but like, even for people who are going through really shit times, their lives are not always bad. They'll have like moments of lightheartedness. But anyway, but like, if you're a news outlet, the point of your existence is not to share silly videos. The point of your existence is to inform the masses of something that is maybe difficult for them to find out information on. Like, for example, things that go on in government. Yeah. Because there's so much jargon that's used there that if you don't have like a politics degree, you might not understand everything that's going on, or if you've not spent the time to understand everything that's going on. Yeah. And news should be there to make any piece of information in the world that is important easily accessible. Yeah. Or easily understandable, I guess, as well. You know, I'm not talking like dumbing it down like so that, I don't know, preschooler can understand it. But like, to the point that it's
you remove the jargon and you just speak in plain English about a situation. I think, you're talking about this, like, fast turnover of news, and it's partly because of the way that news works now.
Yeah.
We can get our news from so many different places that everyone's got to be the news station or the, online site that's going to grab your attention first.
Yeah.
So they're constantly looking for that next thing that's going to make you click on their page.
Mm-hmm.
So them rehashing a story that they've kind of already told, and even if it's just to update you, or if it's to say, hey, this is still going on, it's not going to get the...
Yeah, it doesn't
views.
have a wow factor anymore.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting to think that a serious news story has to have a wow factor for you to care about it.
And it's because of the way society works, because we're in a capitalist society, and I know this is going to make me sound like goddamn commie, but almost quite... not quite communism. I think that has proven time and time again to not work. But definitely, socialism.
About?
Socialism is definitely more where I'm at than capitalism. But anyway, with capitalism, things have to make money. That's the point of capitalism.
Yeah.
But that, and that has its good sides in the sense that people have to work to earn money, so nobody is getting things that they haven't... I'm trying to put a positive light on something that I'm not really 100% behind, but the idea that, you have to work to make money so that that there's not someone who's sitting there and not contributing to society because they can't be fucked and getting the exact same thing as someone who is contributing to society. Yeah. There's that. But when it comes to things like news, or things that should be impartial and should not be affected by money, because of the way a capitalist society works, they have to make money. They have to, nobody's going to turn up for their job as a reporter if they're not getting paid.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Or very few people will.
Yeah.
Oh, my foot's about to die.
Oh. She is beauty, she is grace.
That door just opened itself.
It's whenever we open that door opens.
Maybe you just have a really eager ghost. Passive decisions.
Yeah.
Important decisions.
Spaghetti.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. I'm getting offered free food, so,
We're great hosts.
Yeah, they are. They are. They make me coffee. They only lock me in the bathroom every now and then.
Yeah, exactly.
Only when I've been, really rude. Which is most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think that's where, it doesn't work because, the whole point of news is that it should be impartial and it should be what's best for the people to hear.
Yeah.
Or not even what's best for the people to hear, but it just should be,
what people need to hear, what they need to be aware of.
Yeah. And it should be an avenue, and you should be able to, find out information. Okay.
Yeah.
And, I think for me, where I struggle a lot with news is with its bias.
Mm-hmm.
And with people not understanding that news has a bias.
Yes. People who are, not oblivious, because I don't think they are, but they're ignorant too, because that's, different. Being like, oh no, surely they're not. They're a news station. They're supposed to be unbiased. And it's like, were you born yesterday? Don't believe that.
It's unless someone is reporting a fact, just, hey, the sky is blue.
Yeah.
It's a fact, or, though there's very few things that fall into that category.
Yeah.
That is the only time something can ever be unbiased. But what makes news biased is not that they're telling lies. It's the way that they present the information to you.
Yes.
There's things, for example, one of the strongest ones I remember about the BBC being biased was when the Scottish independence referendum was going on, and there was this interview with this, I'm trying to remember who it was. He wasn't anyone famous. He was expert in finance, but more specific to shopping.
Okay.
And consumers buying and buying things. And they were talking to him and saying, hey, if the Scottish referendum goes ahead, do you think there'll be a dip in purchasing in Scotland? So, like, you know, you and me going out to the shops and buying something that isn't necessarily, like, I need this to live.
Yeah.
And what got onto the news was, you know, the kind of, or like the news that they sent out everywhere was him saying, after the referendum, there will be a drop in spending in Scotland. And that's what got put out. But actually, the rest of what he said was, but then after a couple of years, we'll see it all level out back to normal, and actually, overall, the Scottish economy won't be too badly affected by it.
Yeah.
But they cut that bit out.
Of course, yeah.
And that's what I mean. This is where I get really annoyed, because if you only watch one news source, you only read one newspaper, you are maybe, without realising, being subjected to someone else's bias.
Yeah.
And therefore, you're unable to form your own opinion of something because you're being told how to form the opinion.
Yeah.
The news article might not say, think that all Muslims are terrorists.
Yeah.
But the way that the wording of the article is, and the information that they choose to tell you, and the information they choose not to tell you, you have not no choice, but like,
yeah, you
can't help but draw that conclusion.
Oh yeah, exactly, because it is still bias. It's like selective hearing, and like that's like the way good propaganda works. It subtly like influences you to think that way rather than the other. Like, it's not just outright, you should think this. It's like, it's very subtle and subconscious almost.
Yeah, because people don't like being told what to do or think. If you turn around to someone and are like, you should think that everyone's great, I'd be like, well then I think everyone's fucking shit.
Exactly. Everyone sucks. It's like inception. To incept an idea, you have to make the person believe that they thought of it. Yeah. That's literally what that is.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, I think that's what really annoys me, is that people who sit there and they just parrot information. And you actually can tell the difference between someone who understands the topic they're talking about and someone who is just spewing up information from one article they read.
Yeah. It's
because if you ask them any questions that the article didn't cover, they flounder.
Yeah.
Like, you push, if you, like, rather than just, like, let's talk about the surface, like, okay, but what about this part of it, and this part of it, and you can feel someone be like, like,
and, like, I'm just sitting here, like, talking about this. I'm not saying that I am completely, like, impartial to, like, reading.
No.
It's, like, it's just, I am just very, like, we are just very aware of, like, that being a thing. So, like, it's not like we're ignorant, like, to what's going on. And we're like, oh my god, we're best because we read everything. It's like, no. We just know that that's what's going on. Yeah. There's actually this phenomenon, and I can't remember the specific term, but it's something like selective reading, but it's not quite. And it's about, so when you have already formed an opinion of something, and then you go to research it to try and prove whether you're right or wrong, you, without kind of realising it, not even just read only the sources that agree with you, but you kind of, any source that you read that doesn't agree with you, you subconsciously start to pick holes in it so that it doesn't seem as airtight. I get that. You know, I feel like, if I have to do research on something, I know myself, I gravitate towards the articles that second my opinion. Yeah. Like, but then also being in uni, like, has taught me to do the quite opposite. Go for the ones that disagree, and then it creates a more interesting conversation. And actually, sometimes you'll be like, no, I think this, and then you get something and you're like, oh wait, actually, this has just destroyed all of my thoughts. Cool. Yeah, exactly. Which is, that's how you become a better person. The more you read, the more places you read from, or like take in information, the better. Yeah, because, even if you read a bunch of articles that are all saying the same thing, because different people are writing them, and because different places are publishing them, it's still a different outlook you're getting, and a slightly different perception. And sometimes, what I find really interesting when you read things, like articles, is like, it's the phrases some people use, and that's what really, like, cements my understanding of it overall. It's not the whole article. You'll find a phrase, and you're like, that's it. Yeah. I get that, yeah. But yeah, I think, so,
it's been a few things right now that, like, a lot of misinformation has been flung about as well, like, kind of making me think of propaganda and, like, down that road. And one that was really bad recently was Brexit. And it's the whole... So, there was this big bus. If you don't know, if you're not from the UK, or if you don't know, there was this big bus that drove around, and on the side of the bus it said 350 million more for the NHS, or some words to that effect. And what it was implying, not promising, what it was implying was that we as the UK spent £350 million, was it a month?
I can't remember.
Well, in some time period, we spent that much money on being part of the EU. And they were implying that then, if we were no longer part of the EU, that money would all get funneled into the NHS. And what the problem was, is that people were seeing that implication and going, oh, they're promising that they will put £350 million more into the NHS. But actually what they were just saying was, like, think of all the ways this money could be used. And this is one of them. And I mean, like, they totally knew what they were doing. They knew what they were saying, but they weren't bound to do it. Because it didn't actually say anywhere, we will put this money into the NHS.
Apart from Boris Johnson. I swear to God he said that so many times. But then he speaks shit, so... Oh,
yeah. But, and it's that thing of, actually, like, when actually after the referendum went through, and someone in one of the interviews afterwards, I think it was Nigel Farage they spoke to, they were like, so, what's about this £350 million for the NHS? And he goes, oh, I mean, we were just talking about maybe doing that, but actually we're going to have to spend this much money on being part of the free market, and this and when you've got the rest of the money left over, we can't guarantee that it'll go to the NHS. Basically going, I'm now going to backpedal real fast. Like, and it makes me so angry. On two accounts. One, it makes me angry for all the people who believed them and voted no, like, to leave the EU, because they were like, do you know what? I would rather our NHS got more money than us paying to be part of the free market. In, like, a simplified version. Like, I don't really want to get started on why being part of the EU is one of the best things that Britain did, and leaving is one of the stupidest things. But
let's not, please.
But yeah, so I feel angry on their behalf of feeling like they've been lied to and feeling like they've been betrayed, and now that if that was the only reason that they voted to leave, that reason was then almost instantly taken away, like within 24 hours of the vote coming through, and to then sit there and be like, I voted wrong. So I feel angry on their behalf. And I'm also just angry at, like, the fact that that was allowed.
Yeah, I'm really mad at that. Like the fact that that kind of propaganda was allowed. Also, beef with the Leave campaign. They spent, like, way too much money than they were supposed to. Because of, there was a side, like, part of the campaign. Where it was, like, I'm pretty sure it was the one to reach out to the younger people. And they spent way too much money, and they were, like, keeping it hush-hush. Just saying. Also, just speaking about, like, cunts. Just things happening in the media. Now, I did not read this news story, so I cannot say exactly what happened, and this might just be, this is, well, the headline's definitely, like,
always
wow factor, clickbaity kind of thing. But I was, like, just at work, and I was scanning this lady's newspaper, and it was a giant picture of, Alex Salmond, and then it was, like, Salmond, is to be kept in, like, not Parliament, what is he in? Does he leave? He's doing something with politics right now, anyway. And, I was like, okay, but I don't know what happened, and it was like, Nicola Sturgeon decided to keep him around even after there was, like, sexual allegations that surfaced, just because it was like it was the way it was phrased again, which is, like, going back to it, which was very much against her decision, because it was like because, like, allegations could be wrong or something like that, and I was like, excuse me. Just like, come again? What do you mean? Like, imagine that happening in Hollywood. Like, people just keeping Weinstein about because, you know, I might be wrong.
Okay, but on the other side of it, like...
No, I think I know what you're going to say, and yes, completely.
I'll say the point just so that if people aren't on the weird wavelength we've got going. But, like, yeah, you know, someone... Like, for example, like Cliff Richard got allegations put against him, and they were then proven wrong.
Yeah.
Whether or not you agree that, you know, because obviously these are things that are hard to prove, but either way, according to the law, got proven wrong. Mm-hmm. But everybody knew, and if, you know, for example, he'd been fired because of that, I totally agree that if someone is convicted of charges of sexual allegations, or if, like with Weinstein, where there's not just one, there's not even just, like, 3 or 4, there's, like, tens of people coming out. Almost, like, probably got to, like, 100 at one point.
So it's, like, insane.
You know, like, that's enough, to me, that's enough people coming out that it's, like, there's no way that this is just people jumping on a bandwagon, like, you know, that, you know, but in that situation, so, like... Kevin Spacey's whole dealings, they got proven to be true. And also the fact that more people came out about it, to talk about it. Yeah. But when the initial accusation was first made, I think before Kevin Spacey had even responded to it, he was kicked off that movie.
And kicked off House of Cards, right?
Yeah. And that's where I was like, unless there's someone behind the scenes who went, I kind of already knew about it, so we're gonna get him gone before it all kicks off, in which case, like, that's bad. Yeah. Or they kicked him off because they were like, ooh, bad publicity, and it's like, okay, don't get me wrong, he did it, therefore he deserves to have his career ruined. Yes. Like, he does. But at that point, nobody knew. Yeah. I think that's...
Yeah, like, kicking someone off, maybe not, but, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm in the mind of... Not kicked off, but, like, suspend? Like, until...
But, okay, think about it from your point of view. No, and I know this is the thing, this is where women, weirdly enough, have a privilege over males. Yes. Where I, as a woman...
weirdly enough.
I, as a woman, will, you know, very, very, very unlikely ever be accused of rape.
Yeah, yeah.
To be honest...
can't do it.
Yeah, legally I can't rape anyone, so...
Triggered.
But yeah. So it's a bit difficult, but if you think about it of the point of view of, like, people are malicious. Yeah. And I'm not saying, so, I don't know if I've said this before, but, I read that, like, there was this, data compiled, and it was trying to, obviously there's a little bit of estimation, because they don't know how many false rape reports are ever not false rape reports, sorry, how many rape cases are never even, like, brought to trial or be charged or even, like, reported. That, you know, it was a bit of an estimation, but it was showing... Oh.
Yeah, actually. Thank you.
M'lady.
Isn't she so kind?
Isn't she lovely?
Thank you, Sophie.
Awesome. Sophie's the best.
Sophie's fucking brilliant.
But, yeah, like, they were showing that, like, 100 men or 100 women who are raped or not raped in this thing. Yeah. It was something like 5 are reported, 94 are unreported, and 1 is a false rape claim. Yeah. So it's like 1% of every rape that happens is false. But of the ones that are reported, like 1 in 6 are it was something like this. So like
that's insane.
Yeah. 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 So, but, you know, as a woman, like, let's say I know, I was dating a guy, and I, you know, we did sleep together, and then we broke up, and he got pissed off, and he was like, fuck it, she raped me. And then, for having that to happen, and then having my boss go, look, okay, we're not gonna fire you, but, like, we're gonna suspend you. Yeah. Until the claim gets proven true or false. How awful would that be?
It would be horrible.
And I'm not, do you know what? I don't want anyone to think that I'm sitting there going, like, oh, all these women with all these false rape claims and, like, yada yada yada. You've got to always, you know, believe the, like, you know, you never believe anything they say. Like, the inner, like, supportive woman in me wants to believe every single woman that comes forward and says that they have been raped or they've been sexually assaulted, because so many people feel like they can't, and so many people...
in general, not even women, fuck that.
Yeah.
People.
People feel like they can't say these things.
Yeah,
and
especially men, actually.
Yeah. And also people feel like, you know, when they do come forward and say things, so many people try and shut them down.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to be one of those people shutting them down. But I'm very much in the frame of mind. Like, the law states you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
And this is one of the few crimes where you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah. That's very true, yeah. I get that.
And, you know, it's like, you know, sometimes people get proven innocent when they should have been proven guilty. You know, O.J. Simpson killed his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, allegedly killed his wife, but it was never proven in court.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I understand that sometimes the law doesn't prevail, justice is not found, but if you assume that every single rape case or sexual assault case that goes to court is gonna be found to be false because everyone's working against you, you're starting to not believe that, like, justice can ever be found.
Yeah.
And then you start, like, that's a path you go down. And don't get me wrong, I don't think our, like, legal system is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's infallible. I
don't think any legal system could be perfect.
No.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't think that ours is anywhere near perfect.
No.
Like, I'm sure that there's lots of situations, especially when it comes to something like sexual assault, because it's difficult to prove. It's a lot of he said, she said. I totally understand, but I'm also, like, you can accuse someone of anything doesn't mean they did it.
Yeah.
And unless you can prove it, you have to assume that they didn't, and it sucks, because there's going to be people who get away with something that they didn't do, or that they did do.
They did do.
But, yeah, like, so, going back to the original thing of your newspaper headline with Alex Salmond and Nicholas Sturgeon, I totally agree with her, of, like, unless it gets proven, there is no reason that he should be fired.
Fair. That's fine.
Might drop, but I wouldn't, because, like...
Please don't.
But yeah.
So I get it.
Oh, I feel like I just, like, won a little, like, point there for, like, debating.
I mean, I don't know. I still have my opinion, but, like, I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm not gonna shit all over your opinion just because it's different to mine. Because that's how you become a decent human being. I hear what you say, and I understand what you say, and I respect what you say, and most of that resonates with me.
But there's bits I disagree with.
Yes.
Well,
look at us being adults.
Yeah. Because this is the thing. I think people think the only way that you can have a conversation is, this is a war and only one of us wins.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Or, we're not stopping talking until I convince you that I'm right.
Yeah, exactly. There's, like, just don't. Like, you both can say, you know, what you want, and then learn from each other, and just go away. Having an interaction that didn't turn malicious or, like, super weirdly competitive when it shouldn't be competitive.
Yeah. Like, let me prove all my points with all my facts. But, actually, it's one of those things, though, like, as much as I love, like, that's what, the person I want to be is like, yeah, tell me your opinion. Oh, thank you. Tell me your opinion and I'll listen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will take on board, and I will maybe ask you to elaborate so I can understand you better.
Yeah.
There's some opinions that I think I'll just never be able to do that with.
Oh no, same. We're only human. Like, we can always work towards, like, this again, it kind of ties in with the news. We branded ourselves with tangents at this point, basically, so it's fine.
As long as we can, like, kind of claw our way back to the original point.
Always somehow. Probably
unless
very
we're drunk.
clumsily. There's no point then. But, yeah, like, it almost ties into, like, the whole news stories thing. Like, not gonna lie, I forgot the point I was trying to make. The coffee really distracted me.
Oh god, I just, like, immediately deleted what we were just talking about. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Talking opinions, having opinions that won't change about certain things.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I might be back on track. I might have to talk a bit till I actually get fully back on track. But yes, we're only human, so we can always strive to better ourselves as people by listening to people with other opinions and like with the most open mind as we can. That doesn't mean that we have to then agree with them, but it just opens our perceptions, like, because hey, there's people who think differently from me, and you just start questioning what you know or what you think is fact. And yeah, that's how I was gonna link that back to the news. That's why, like, reading different news outlets and stuff like that, like,
yeah,
you can achieve that by that as well.
Sometimes someone questioning you makes you realize, actually, no, yeah, I definitely believe this, because your questions are not making me shake, they're making me stand stronger.
Yeah.
One thing actually I was gonna say is, I think kind of where my line in the sand is, of like, I will listen to you, and maybe you will actually be able to change my opinion, this is an open discussion, or like, even I will listen to you and I will, like, take on board your opinions. I think my line in the sand is, if your opinion is the sort of opinion that can get people killed, that's where I have a problem.
Fair.
That's where I think I'm like, no, because, like, so for example, this is maybe going to be a little controversial. So racism, for example, this is an example I'm taking.
Yeah.
There is plenty of other examples that live it there, but, so, if someone is racist, like, integrally racist, I don't think I could ever listen to them and be able to have, like, a proper conversation with them that wasn't like, what the fuck?
You know, I get that.
But the people who are kind of, and this is maybe a little bit of, like, a white privilege here thing, but the people who are not, like, 100% like, I've got a white cloak in my back room, like,
just for the weekends,
racist, like, people who most of the time were pretty okay, and then sometimes they'll say something and you'll be like, I mean, like, no, like, people who use incorrect terms that I'm not gonna say because they're racist. But, you know, and they don't quite realise, like, they're not quite caught up with the times, or, you know, which isn't necessarily an excuse, you know, it's something we're saying, like, you know, as much as the fact that back in my day it was okay to say this thing, it's like, yes, but we as human beings have to learn to adapt when our environment adapts. Therefore, you should have adapted to know not to use that term anymore. But I would be much more okay with listening to someone like that, and not necessarily, oh, you can maybe convince me, but I think there's much more chance of a conversation there. Because nobody forms an opinion from nothing.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I'm about to go and contradict myself of, like, 3 seconds ago, of saying, actually, maybe when someone is, like, I think I would really struggle with it, but someone who is fully 100%, like, black people are scum, racist.
Yeah.
Maybe actually listening to them is what's needed, because I don't know if you've ever heard about this guy. He's called Daryl Dixon. I actually, like, researched him for the monologue I did to get into the course for second year.
Like the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon.
No, I'm pretty sure it's a different Daryl Dixon. I'm pretty sure still his name is Daryl Dixon. I might be making this up, but he's definitely called, like, either Daryl or Dixon is definitely in there. My brain might be doing an autocomplete here, but he is a black man. He lives in the United States, and so far he has led to over 250 members of the Ku Klux Klan leaving the Ku Klux Klan.
That's amazing.
Because he, as a black man, will sit and talk to them. And his whole, like, thing is, how can you hate me if you don't even know me?
Yeah.
And he's like, the reason that they hate is because it comes from a place of ignorance. And it comes from a place from us being villainized. And the second that we have a conversation and they realize that I'm not shutting them down and I'm not ignoring them, I'm listening to what they're saying, and then we're having an open conversation, I can't be a villain to them anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not going out there to convince these people to quit.
No.
It's not at all what I'm doing. Going out there to try and make them understand me a little better, and so I can understand them a little better. And if they want to then leave because of that, kudos to them.
Yeah.
He's like, he's gotten, like, people donate, like, the people who leave give them their, like, robes to, like, even say, like, I'm not going back. You have them. And I think maybe that's, like, that's what I would strive to be, but I think I'd really struggle because I get angry.
Yeah, no, I have, like, it's always, I have a topic like that, but mine's immigration, for obvious reasons.
I don't, you know what, it's not just racism, like, I just use that as a, an example, but
there's many.
Yeah, you know what, I think, do you know what, I don't think immigration's my, like, mine, as, like, stereotypical as it probably is, mine's feminism.
Yeah, no, feminism too, I get that. But, like, yeah, for me it's definitely, like, immigration. And just, like, you know what, actually, no. Like, kind of with that, I did not understand, and I still don't understand, the phenomenon of people freaking the fuck out over refugees.
Yeah.
Because there is a disgusting, horrendous war going on. They are human beings who are trying to escape that. They are families. They just have a life and they want to go somewhere safe. They choose your country as a safe place, and then you go and shit on them because they're here illegally. It's like, are you really going to do this right now?
But actually, you'll find that most countries, at least most first world countries, will have a little bit in their law that's like, okay, you can't just, like, get a boat and just fucking land on our shores and do whatever the fuck you want. But you can if you're running away from a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, almost every single law, like in America it's called asylum seekers, in most places in Europe it's got, like, refugee something, but it's basically saying, hey, your country's in a war zone, or a political upheaval, or any of these sort of things that might make you want to go, like, get out of here. You've got a legal loophole and you can be here.
Mm-hmm. Like, imagine that happening here in the UK, where some shit went down, which I feel like it will soon. I'm not speaking on that level, but just, like, in general. Like, when shit goes down and people need to leave. Now, this, like, genuinely, actually, that's kind of weird. If anything bad happens, people would probably try to leave to the EU,
which is hilarious
now from, And then imagine the outrage and all these mostly white people that live here, because it's usually white people that get super triggered by this.
Oh, yeah.
If they got denied, or they were, like, shat on by different countries for then, like, trying to seek refuge.
Oh, you're freeloading here. You're here illegally.
You know, like, no, but we need help. And it's like, oh, what do you think those people need? Mm-hmm. They need help. We are here, we are human fucking beings, we should be helping each other whenever the fuck we can.
I think my thing is also, like, so this is kind of actually going back to our original thing, which is news. So, like, oh, look, we're getting there! And I think my thing is, so Britain has this very special thing, and I'm sure we're not exclusive in this special thing that we do, but we're very good at it, in that we can only see things from our point of view. So
Poland's really bad for that as well.
I don't know if you, like, I don't know how many people who watch this are A, from the UK, and B, keep up to date with what's going on, but like, and it was recently announced that there might be a €7 charge for any British person who wants to go visit an EU country. And this is the thing where Britain's suddenly going, this is ridiculous. How can they charge us to just travel? And it's like, well, I mean, that's why the EU is free movement, and why you leaving the EU means that free movement doesn't exist. It's not just that people can't come to the UK as easily, it means that you can't leave the UK as easily. And it's the same thing with, like, okay, so, we get all these immigrants over here, but suddenly, if you want to go and retire to Spain because you want the quiet, peaceful, sunny life, suddenly, that's not migration, that's not immigration, that's just retirement. Like, and actually, do you know what?
It's like so white privilege.
Do you know what? This is, I'm getting on a roll here.
Go ahead, please.
You going to Spain to retire means that you're going to go and suck off their economy and not contribute anything, whereas all of these immigrants who come here and steal our jobs and ruin our lives actually bring a net profit to the UK economy, and they're actually all here working and providing things for society. Not all of them.
No, but most of them.
But also, like, hey, guess what?
Oh, chaos reigns.
Sophie, you dead?
No, she's fine. It's just our thing. It always falls. It's fine. But
yeah, you know, you're bringing, like, my mouth will not do what my brain wants it to do. Let's say, like, 5% of the people who come to the UK contribute zilch.
Yeah.
That's, like,
still
nothing. Whereas probably most people who leave the UK contribute zilch.
Also, it's really funny because, like, well, from my perspective, I just remember, like, I mean, I don't personally remember, but my parents remember and have told me about, like, the whole Britain was so down for immigrants when we came over. They were like, please come here. Like, we are welcoming. We want you to be here. And, like, from, like, just looking at it blankly, you were like, oh, you're just nice guys. That's really cool. Like, because you guys are, like, tight. I like you guys. But also, it's to boost the economy. Like, hey, more people here, more people working. Yes, this is good. Yeah. And all of a sudden, it's a bad thing. And it's like, cool. I'll just fuck off then.
Yeah, do. Go back to where you came from.
Take that thing back where you came from. Also, help me.
So help me. And cut. Just end the podcast there.
That's it. But yeah, like, I'm genuinely now, like, having thoughts of, like, I'm genuinely having fears just because of Brexit for many reasons, and one of them being I will have to get citizenship here, and that's fine.
But also expensive.
Yeah, super expensive.
Like, we're talking thousands.
Also, ridiculous questions. Can we please, like, if, like, it's just, like, it bothers me the kind of questions it is, because it's, like, about the royal family, about, like, other fucking things, and it's, like...
I did, like, a fake one, and so I can't ever guarantee, like, how much it's, like, the real thing, but it was one of those things that was shared online by someone who did sit the citizenship test to be like, you know, this is the sort of thing I had to do, and people were commenting, being like, oh, I got, like, 2, I got, like, 3, and, like, I would fail my own citizenship test. Yeah. And, like, to be that cunt, I passed it quite a lot, but it was stuff that I learned in primary school that I have not since used. I just have, like, a really weird way of retaining that useless knowledge, but it's like, this doesn't mean that I'm a citizen of the UK. I wouldn't sit there and go, like, oh yeah, this is all the questions that mean that, like, I know what it is to be part of the UK. Yeah. It's, like, these are questions about, like, our kings from centuries ago. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter.
And it, like, those, like, citizenship tests will probably be exactly the same level of absurdity in any other country. Yeah. So it's not like I'm just shitting on the UK. But, like, I'm just thinking about that. And I also, like, genuinely, when Brexit went through, like, that's the top 5 worst days that I've had. And I remember waking up and, like, that being a thing. My mom told me, I thought it was a joke. And I just looked at the news, I was like, oh, great. And then my brain instantly went to, holy fuck, will I have to get a student visa? Will I get deported? What the fuck would I do if I got deported? Like, my entire life is here, and I'm not the only person who is like that.
Yeah.
So that was, like, a huge thing. Like, it's a big thing for, like, Brits anyway, because, like, you done fucked up. Hey, and, like, to be fair, Poland is not much better, but we're still in the EU.
Oh,
but
isn't it great how Europe's, like, going towards that whole, like, fascism thing again?
It's like,
do you remember when we last did that? It's like blue eyeliner. It just comes back into fashion every now and again, and it's a bad idea every time!
Fascism is never fashionable, okay? But, like, yeah, it's just, like...
You fall, Luke. Hitler.
See hell!
You're going to hell. We're both going to hell, but, like, you especially.
Yeah. those Jews I brought back for you, that's a story that didn't let me explain.
They were in her bag.
I was on
holiday. She smuggled them out of Poland.
And we went to this castle. I'll keep it brief because it's coming to the end of the podcast. I was like in Poland, just on holiday, and there's some lovely castles, and we went to go visit. And under that castle was a fragment of the tunnels that Hitler dug out. Well, not himself, but he got the people from all the concentration camps to dig out for him for reasons unknown. And they're like, there's a couple of them in Poland. It's really weird. No one actually knows why. They think he was building a base. All that lovely positive things that happened, and the motherfuckers running the gift shop thought it was a great idea to, in the gift shop, which is just above those tunnels, sell little Jews to bring you luck with money. They're like this big. Like they're tiny. It's basically like, the Chinese coins that you put in your purse, and you're like, oh, it's gonna bring me money. Yeah, we're a little bit more fucking racist, and we're like, let's sell Jews. And I just found it so absurdly hilarious that I had to go get you guys.
Yeah. They are hanging on our fridge.
Amazing.
But
yeah, brilliant.
Ooh, food. That also indicates that we should get to wrapping this up.
Yeah.
So, you may have noticed that in this podcast we have not done a news segment.
Yeah. We just talked about news for the whole thing.
Yeah. But one thing that I kind of wanted to briefly talk about before we go away is why we do our news segment. Because earlier on in this podcast, you will find that we were talking about things like, news is so clickbaity, and it's, here 1 minute, gone the next. And you could argue that we kind of do that a little bit, because we talk about a subject for 10-15 minutes at the end of a podcast, and then next week we move on to another subject.
Yeah.
But our aim is not to be sensational.
No.
And I know that we talk about the top news story, and maybe it'd be a good idea to maybe do something where we purposely go out of our way and find information from that's not so well known.
Yeah.
Might be something we do. But the point is, we talk about something that is current and something that is happening right now, because it's important to open up a floor to discuss things.
Yes.
And we talk about them very much from our opinion, and very much aware that people will disagree with us. Yeah. And actually, as we've spoken about earlier, we encourage disagreement.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get to understanding. And I think for us, the point of the news section is that not necessarily having a conversation with us, but maybe you'll watch it and you'll have a conversation with someone else about it.
Yeah. Or it's just literally, it's to spark conversation. And we always, when we go on our tangents after the story, we always, you guys know, we always state that it's our opinion that we're speaking, and it's not fact. And we encourage you guys to just, just open your mind if you're if your opinion is different to ours. And also, we will open our minds to your opinions that are different from ours. Mm-hmm. Just, what the whole point of today was, talking about, that whole thing. Mm-hmm. That is our point, to start a conversation.
Yeah, and because at the end of the day, you can read one BuzzFeed article about how America is going to shit. Or how America's not going to shit. Whatever article you choose to read. And you will gain some understanding of a conversation, of the topic, but you'll never properly understand a topic until you talk to someone who knows more about it than you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yeah.
And on that note,
we're gonna go and eat.
Yeah, and we're actually ending on a really reasonable note, at a really reasonable time.
For once, we're actually keeping to the 1 hour, kind of.
Do you think we should just keep talking for another couple minutes and just...
We don't have to do that because we have that bit in the beginning and our intro.
Yeah. Just extend it to make it last. The
whole minute and a half that we have of exactly an hour.
Yep. And we get the intro bit as well, actually. Do you know what? We can just cut
we can just... Bye. Great way to sign off, by the way.